Welcome back to the Gauntlet. Oh. Welcome back to another episode of Shanclen Shadow Productions. Now, before we get started, if you're enjoying the content here at Shanclen Shadow Productions, be sure to give a like, share, and subscribe to get some more amazing content here at Shanclen Shadow Productions. Be sure to turn on your notifications when all new videos and live streams go live. Oh. Now, without further ado, let us get into the Gauntlet. Oh. Need some tobacco for this one. Now, if you guys haven't seen the first video, this is going to be part 2. Now, go watch part 1 if you haven't seen it. The Gauntlet of Fear and Gore. This one is going to be the Gauntlet of Fear and Loss. Now, to continue off where we left off on the first video, you are standing at the entrance of the Gauntlet itself with your instructors and your brothers and sisters in training as well, covered in blood and ready for the next test. Scared and still shook from what you just experienced in the Gauntlet of Fear and Gore. Your mentors tell you, go back in again, replace the feather and come back out. Now they tell you you have to be able to make sure to put the feather back in the pedestal because the person that's going next, if they cannot come back out with the feather and you do not place it on the pedestal, they could be lost within the Gauntlet itself. So that gives you kind of incentive to be able to make sure you put it back on the pedestal so your friends and your brothers and sisters do not get lost in the Gauntlet themselves. Standing in front of you in the Gauntlet of Fear and Loss, the wind changes. You look into the cave. Pitch darkness, the same as the first time. You gather your nerves, you gather your songs, you gather your prayers. You're just like, okay, this time won't be as bad as the first time, because the first time was very, very scary. Now, you kind of have an idea of what the Gauntlet is going to throw at you, so you throw that fear aside. Now your instructors tell you, this time the Gauntlet is going to be different. This time, the route is going to change, and the experiences inside of this Gauntlet, this second round you're going through, is going to be different as well. And that's all they say. Place back the feather and return out of the Gauntlet. Oh. Same as the first time. You walk into the Gauntlet, and you turn back, and the entrance is gone. But instead, the path turns left instead of going right. You're just like, okay, let's go ahead and go this way. So you start making your way down the dark corridor. Still pitch black, but you use your senses to be able to navigate your way. You go down the corridor, there's a right turn, and then a left turn, and then a right turn. And then you go straight for a little while, and something catches your senses. You notice something. You've been walking for a little while, but you haven't experienced nothing. You're on guard, you're ready for anything to jump out and take you. Till you walk down the end of the corridor, and you feel the ground shake behind you. And you feel like the cave collapsed in, and you hear one of your mentors calling out to you. He calls for help. He calls for aid. You run back toward the direction of where the cave collapsed, and your mentor has half of his body collapse underneath stone inside of the cave. And he is holding a flashlight. And he has blood coming out of his mouth, dying in front of your eyes. Now this mentor, you grew up with this person. Now this mentor, you spent many years with him. You've grown a little bond with him. You grew a bond with this mentor, almost like an uncle fatherly figure. and you do anything for this person to make sure that they survive. But in your moments, you try to release the rocks and the pressure inside of his body, but it's impossible. You cannot save him. He's crying out to you, asking for your help, pleading for your help, in pain, screaming for you to save him. But there's nothing you can do. And he tells you to leave him, continue the mission, and never come back. He dies in your arms. He dies in your presence as he takes his last breath. You start crying because this fatherly uncle figure that you had in front of you is gone forever. And you grab his flashlight and you start making your way back down the corridor. But when you turn around to get one last look of your mentor, you notice the corridor is empty. Your mentor is not there. The cave never collapsed. It was all a part of the training. With tears still in your eyes going through that, you press forward into the gauntlet. Trying to fathom being able to see something like that, as far as for something being so real. You could touch his body, you could feel him grasping your arms as he tries to beg for you to save his life, smelling the blood, feeling the sweat all over, trying to get those boulders free, was so real. You can't fathom it, you can't understand it, which is honestly very, very wild. So you make your way down the corridor, go down a couple more turns. You have that flashlight in your hand still. But it's very interesting because if he disappeared, how do you still have a flashlight in your hand? So all you have is that flashlight and your feather clutched in that hand. And remembering your mission, replace the feather back on the podium inside of the gauntlet. You make your way through the gauntlet, and out of nowhere, you smell bacon. You smell breakfast. You smell coffee. And you follow this scent down the hallway. You follow this scent going down further into the darkness of the gauntlet. But what's very interesting is your senses tell you to go right. That is where the gauntlet is. But in front of you, you smell home. And with all this fear, all this emotion that you're going through all in the same night, that feeling of home and warmth brings you joy, energy, happiness, and courage to be able to press forward. But you're curious to be able to see what it is down this hallway. And at the end of this hallway, there's a door. You open the door and you're blinded by sunlight, but it's not outside. You're inside your kitchen. You walk inside your kitchen and you see your mother and your grandmother making breakfast. One of your most fondest memories that you had growing up in the reservations. And you smell all the beautiful, delicious food that they're cooking up, sharing stories and laughing, having a good time. You see your family and loved ones all running around. Grandfather has the radio going, and you see your grandmother helping out your mother, and your sisters are help making bread for the first time. Brothers are playing with their toy trucks, and you have your cousins look out the window and you see your cousins outside playing, all having beautiful, good time. And you're just like, how is this a memory? Is this happening right now? What's going on? And they interact with you. Here's your plate, son. Also, time to eat. And you're kind of there, and you're just trying to question it, but you're still holding the flashlight and the feather. And they say, put that down over there on the table. Put that down over there. So you place down the flashlight and the feather on the table, But right as you put down the flashlight and the feather, everything goes quiet. And you turn and you look, and your family are all dead. You see every single one of them butchered inside of the home. Blood scattered everywhere. For a moment, you had happiness. Then the next, everyone is dead in front of your eyes. Your loved ones, everyone that's so close to you, gone in a split second. And you look, and this is like one of your worst fears, is of your family butchered in such a way. And you're just like looking, trying to contemplate what's going on. Is this real? It feels so real. And it hurts. You cry and you shed tears to face the fact of your worst fear coming to reality, such as this. And you cry and you cry and you cry. Who did this? And then you turn and you look in the door that you just came in from. And there's a demon standing right there. My camera just died. Very interesting. Very interesting. And continuing the story, the demon is standing at the door, pointing and laughing.
You could not save them. You were too weak. Their souls are mine.
And he holds up a bag, and you can feel the energy of your family members crying out and calling to you to save them. He closes the bag, and out of adrenaline and rage, you chase after this demon. He slams the door, but you open it, and it's empty. Back into the Gauntlet. You take a few steps into the hallway, and then you turn back, and the room and the house you were in are gone. And what lay inside of what used to be the room is this stone pedestal with the feather on top of it, with your flashlight next to it. With tears still in your eyes and just sadness of the thought of seeing such gruesome, horrid things such as that, it really fucks with your mind, because being able to manifest your worst fears such as that is the worst. To be able to kind of go through and see your worst nightmares manifest in front of you. But it's honestly one of the most powerful things to be able to make sure you train hard to make sure you never see that ever again. So after you place the feather back on the pedestal, you notice something different about the room. The last time you went through the Gauntlet, the door was different. You had to go a different path to find your way out. But this time, the previous way that you saw is the only way out of the cave. So you make your way back down the same path. You're like, okay, let me go ahead and see. I've already been through my mentor and my family. What's next? As you start walking down the hallway in the labyrinth, you do not have the environment change. You start hearing voices behind you. You start hearing voices in front of you. You start hearing voices below you, to the left, and to the right, and above you. All around, you hear people calling your name, your family members, your brothers and sisters in training, and even people you do not understand. And out of nowhere, you hear footsteps coming up behind you. Old chainman, and then a Masana comes up, grabs you. You don't even know them. And they just turn to dust in front of you, asking for help for your prayers. Then you have a little boy, a little girl, an auntie, and an uncle. Then you have your ancestors. All of them come up to you. Save me. Help me. Before you can even say a word, they turn to dust in front of you. And each person that comes from a different direction, behind you and in front of you, to where you can't even make any ground. You see all this death, you see all this loss of people you know and you don't know. You see them dying in your hands, in your arms, and there's nothing you can do about it. And you just keep walking, trying to make your way through the labyrinth as people try and stop you and ask you for help as they die in your arms. People you grew up with, your friends, family, relatives, everybody comes up and tries to ask for help. But there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do to save them. And you just keep walking until eventually you kind of just close your eyes and you just start praying and you start singing. Praying for these people, praying for their souls, praying to be stronger, praying to overcome this hardship of loss. And literally till you're overloaded with grief and to the point to where you just close your eyes and you just still hear their voices. But then you feel a breeze on your face and you hear the crackles of the torches. You open your eyes and you see your mentor that died in front of your arms and your brothers and sisters that died in front of your arms. And you run up crying with tears in your face and you give them a hug and you tell them you love them. And then same thing as the first time. Ready to go again? You made it through the fear gauntlet of loss. Everyone's kind of just looking at you again. Mentors take it easy on you this time. They're like, okay, you've gone through 2 in a row. Go ahead and take a smoke break. Go pray about it. They turn to the group and they say, all right, who's next? And everyone's like, you know, always have that one warrior. Shit, raise his hand. I'll do it. All right, let's go. They tease you. They're like, hopefully your brother put the feather back in the right spot. But the fear of loss is definitely a tactic that is used by evil. Used a lot by evil, especially if you're somebody who has a lot of love for people. It's one of your greatest weaknesses is your greatest strength could be also your greatest weakness as far as for what you fight for. What do you want to protect in this world most? Your child, your partner, your mother, father, brother, sister, grandma, grandpa, auntie, uncle, loved ones that you have close to your heart. Could be a reason why you fight. Evil and darkness will distort the fuck out of that to where it'll make it seem so real that they're already dead, but can also be used as a tactic to bait you, to trick you into going someplace, doing something outlandish, outrageous. It's not even real, but they'll have you go and do something else. You think you're fighting a demon, but you're actually fighting your comrade that is disguised, you know, like the demons disguised him as a demon, and you start attacking your comrades. Being able to throw you off your game to where even if it's a split second that you hesitate or get you off your game of combat and defense, to even hesitate to think that your family members or your loved ones are gone or dead, they already got you. They got that hook inside of you already. So being able to, it's almost like a Jedi thing, learn how to detach, but also still be attached and love your family, of course. But when it comes to battle, when it comes to these things, that's why your family members already know, like when you go out on and do these things to be able to protect your family, they already know at home how to protect themselves. You know, you already have your other brothers and sisters at their homes making sure that they're safe, and the spirits that are there too are safe as well. So, you know, there's a protocol when it comes to even just not the warriors itself in the community, but also the family members themselves know the roles that they have to take to be able to make sure things go the way it should. And, you know, when the warrior goes out, they know that their family is safe and they're protected to where, you know, don't worry about us. We'll be okay. You go take care of what you need to. And by far, out of everything that I've experienced, you know, dealing with darkness and evil, is that aspect right there. Fear of loss is one of the hardest things to get over. It is definitely one of those things that it's tough. Not gonna lie, it was one of those things that, you know, when you go through that, to let go, to understand that you have a duty, you have a mission to complete, but also put your emotions aside and overcome it at that time. There's a time and place when to grieve. There's a time and place when to go through your emotions, let it all through. When you're fighting for your life at that certain point in time, that is not the time. So it just really depends on the person. The other people that I've spoken to, they had different experiences of loss, different family members, different, you know, some even people even had like loss of objects, loss of, you know, different things that they hold dear to their heart because they don't have any family or anything. You know, it just really depends on the person, and the Gauntlet and those spirits inside know how to get inside of your mind. So, fear of loss, everybody, part 2. But now, hope you're ready for the next parts and the other fears of the Gauntlet. So, if you guys enjoyed that video right there of the Gauntlet part 2, my camera died in the middle of that when I spoke about that demon. Very interesting. But, yes. If you guys enjoyed that video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And would you go through this Gauntlet? Only a select few can go through it, but would you if you could? And yeah, it's a pretty gnarly haunted house experience, I guess, if you can put it into modern day terms. But yeah, it's fucking hella crazy, hella scary. Some channel updates. If you're watching this on Saturday, as it airs, I'm currently on the road in Montana. So doing another vlog there for the second channel to be able to do some commercial work for a company that's going to be out there. So that's why I'm not going to be here for that. But this episode will air on Saturday. If you're watching this in the future, disregard what I just said because I'm probably somewhere else completely, entirely. So many blessings to everybody and sweet nightmares. Just kidding. Yeah. But channel updates, Shanclen Shadow Lodge, go subscribe to the second channel. If this was too scary and creepy for you, go over there, watch me go on a carnival ride. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe over there too as well. I do have memberships over there as well now too. Some membership content will be coming to this channel and that channel too as well. So if you guys can go follow me at Clan Warrior SSP on Instagram and Clan Shadow Lodge SSP as well for my second channel Instagram. I do have a TikTok at Shanclen SP as well if you guys want to send me some creepy reels or things you see on the internet. And then I have Shanclen Shadow Lodge at gmail.com if you guys would like to submit some scary stories and to be shared on this channel as well. It is currently 12:17 a.m. I'm trying to get these videos out for you, but I want to make sure that these videos get out for you in time. Yes. But again, thank you everybody so much for watching and enjoying this content. And this community that we're building here is not one to try to share and prove the existence of paranormal stuff. This channel is for people who've already experienced so many things in their lives and they want some answers. And this community is spread on love and happiness and joy and knowledge. So in darkness and in light makes us enjoy the happiness of life itself. Anyways, but thank you all so much for watching again, and hope you all have a good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. Hook on it. When it's real late at night, I like to ramble sometimes. I just hit that point right now. I am out of monster, but I'm not out of tobacco. Oh, let's get these episodes edited up, because I gotta go on a trip. Hook on it.